When Sam Heughan stepped onto the stage for his highly anticipated livestream, fans expected an update about a new project, maybe a charity initiative, or perhaps a behind-the-scenes story from his latest shoot. What they did not expect, what absolutely no one was prepared for, was Sam revealing that there was one deal, a single life-altering agreement, that had secretly shaped the course of his entire career. His expression was more serious than usual, his posture straight, and his voice carried a weight that immediately silenced the global audience. Followers from dozens of countries held their breath as Sam adjusted the microphone and said the sentence that would send shockwaves across the fandom. "It's finally time I talk about the deal that changed everything." The internet nearly imploded. Sam began by reflecting on his early years in the industry, when his life was defined by uncertainty rather than success. He spoke honestly about the countless auditions he walked into with hope and left with disappointment, roles that slipped through his hands despite months of preparation. There were years when he questioned whether acting was truly his path or just a stubborn dream he refused to let go of. Some days, he admitted, the weight of financial pressure made him wonder whether he should quit entirely. Hearing Sam describe those struggles felt like watching a man open the most vulnerable pages of his past. He explained that during this challenging period, he accepted every project he could, no matter how small or obscure. Commercials, student films, supporting roles in productions barely anyone saw. Sam did them all because they were the only opportunities available. Yet none of these projects offered stability, long-term prospects, or a breakout moment. Sam described it as running in place, working constantly but feeling like he was standing still. This emotional backdrop made the idea of a game-changing deal seem impossible at the time. Then Sam described the night his life took a dramatic turn, a night he had never fully spoken about publicly until now. He had just finished a small theater performance and returned home exhausted, expecting nothing more than a quiet evening. Instead, he found an unexpected message waiting for him, an email from someone whose name he recognized instantly. The subject line was simple but cryptic, "A role with your name on it." Sam admitted that his heart pounded as he opened it, sensing something different, something monumental. According to Sam, the email came from a casting director who had been following his work quietly for several years. They believed he was the perfect fit for a role in a major project that was about to begin development. The email included only a few details, but each one felt surreal: an international production, a historic time period, and a character described as deeply complex, deeply human. Sam reread the message over and over, terrified it was a mistake or some kind of cruel joke. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of hope powerful enough to overpower his doubts. Sam explained that what followed was a whirlwind of secret meetings, confidential phone calls, and several intense conversations about commitment and sacrifice. He had to consider the potential consequences carefully. The project could change his life, or it could collapse entirely and take everything with it. The deal required a long-term contract, an enormous time investment, and a willingness to reshape his entire identity as an actor. Sam described the decision as the most terrifying crossroads he had ever faced. Yet deep down, he knew this opportunity was unlike anything he had ever encountered. As he spoke, his voice softened, revealing hints of the emotional weight he carried even now. He said he remembered pacing around his apartment that night, imagining every possible future: success, failure, fame, anonymity, happiness, heartbreak. Signing the deal meant risking everything he had left, including the fragile confidence he had only just begun to rebuild. But Sam also knew that if he didn't take the chance, he would spend the rest of his life wondering what if. That thought frightened him more than the risk itself. Then came the moment Sam made the choice that would alter the trajectory of his entire life. With trembling hands, he signed the agreement, sealing his commitment to the project that would define his name worldwide. He didn't tell many people at the time, just a few trusted friends who understood how monumental the decision was. What the world didn't know was that this deal demanded more than a signature. It demanded sacrifice, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the unknown. In Sam's words, "I signed that deal with nothing but hope and fear in equal measure." Finally, Sam leaned toward the camera and revealed the teaser that sent shockwaves across social media. That one deal, it wasn't just about a role. It connected me to people and experiences that changed my entire life forever. His eyes glimmered with emotion, suggesting the truth ran far deeper than fans realized. With that cliffhanger, he paused, letting the suspense hang heavy in the air. The livestream ended abruptly, leaving the world desperate to know the full story behind the deal that transformed Sam Heughan's destiny. When the livestream resumed hours later, millions of fans rushed back in, desperate to hear the full truth behind Sam Heughan's life-changing deal. Sam appeared calmer than before, but there was a gravity in his eyes that made the moment feel monumental. He thanked viewers for their overwhelming support, acknowledging that sharing the story had taken more emotional strength than he expected. Then, with a deep breath, he finally revealed what everyone had been waiting for. The deal, he said slowly, was Outlander. The comment section erupted instantly, but Sam continued speaking before the noise could derail the moment. He explained that the Outlander contract wasn't just another job. It was a commitment that would bind him to a character, a story, and a global audience for nearly a decade. He admitted that he didn't fully understand what he was signing up for, only that the project felt bigger than anything he had ever encountered. The role of Jamie Fraser wasn't simply offered to him, it was entrusted to him. And that responsibility would change every part of his life. Sam described the early negotiations, which took place in secret long before the world even heard about the series. He spoke about reading the character breakdown for Jamie for the first time, how the words, honor, strength, and unshakable loyalty, made something inside him ignite. He confessed that he instantly felt connected to Jamie, as though he had been waiting for this role without even knowing it. But the contract was intense. Long-term commitments, relocation requirements, and a level of exposure Sam had never imagined. Signing it required courage he wasn't sure he had. The emotional weight of the decision became clearer as Sam recounted the sacrifices he made in those early years. He had to give up other opportunities, turn away roles he had dreamt about, and devote himself entirely to the Outlander universe. The physical demands alone were overwhelming: months of training, stunt work, and the pressure of embodying a beloved character from a globally adored book series. Sam revealed that the emotional toll was even heavier, as he carried the expectations of millions of fans who would scrutinize every performance. Yet he embraced the challenge because he believed the story deserved everything he had. But the most surprising part of Sam's revelation wasn't the contract itself, it was the people tied to it. He explained that accepting the Outlander deal meant stepping into a world that would introduce him to souls who would change his life forever. With unmistakable sincerity, Sam said, "I didn't know then that this deal would lead me to lifelong friendships, including one that would redefine how I understood trust." Though he didn't say her name, fans instantly knew he meant Katrina Balfe. The significance of that connection added an emotional layer to the story no one expected. Sam went on to describe the moment he first met Katrina during the final stages of casting. He recalled how instantly comfortable he felt around her, how naturally their energies aligned, and how he knew, almost immediately, that their partnership would become the foundation of the entire show. He said the producers noticed their chemistry instantly, calling it once in a generation. Sam admitted he had no idea then how deeply their bond would shape his life, both on-screen and off. The Outlander deal didn't just launch his career, it built a connection that became one of the most meaningful relationships he had ever known. As he continued, Sam revealed that the contract had also opened doors he never thought he'd walk through: global fame, new opportunities, creative freedom, and a platform that allowed him to build businesses, charities, and long-term projects. But with all the blessings came intense scrutiny, public misconceptions, and the pressure of living up to Jamie Fraser's legendary persona. There were days, he confessed, when he wondered whether he had made the right decision. Yet every time he doubted, something, often a message from a fan or a moment with the cast, reminded him why he chose this path. The livestream reached its emotional peak when Sam admitted that, for years, he kept the full story behind the deal private because it felt too personal, too defining. He said he was afraid people wouldn't understand the weight of what it meant to tie his identity so closely to one character. But now, he felt ready to acknowledge how profoundly the decision shaped him. With a soft, reflective smile, he said, "Outlander didn't just change my career. It changed my heart. It changed my purpose. It changed my life." Then came the final twist, one that sent fans into another meltdown. Sam revealed that the original Outlander deal included an unpublicized clause, an option for one final, unnamed project connected to the franchise, something still sealed behind confidentiality agreements. He didn't elaborate, but the glimmer in his eyes said enough. Fans immediately exploded with theories about a movie, a reunion special, or a final chapter no one saw coming. As the livestream ended, Sam offered one last line, a quiet, emotional message that lingered long after the screen went black. "This deal isn't finished yet.